Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live or listening to replay. This is a pop up episode, episode 161, passive investing versus active investing. Once again, this is the vault. Just doing a pop up episode, 161, passive investing versus active investing. And really wanted to do this topic. So many people come to the vault and ask the questions about passive investing and active investing. It can be a very extensive episode, but we always appreciate the live listeners, everyone that listens all around the world. Appreciate you also. Definitely going to go straight into it, which is, everyone or a lot of people in the public, they listen to the passive income thought process. We're going to go ahead and start out by quoting a billionaire, someone that is in the public. Thanks, Lewis, for tuning in live. Uh, Passive investing. And this is a billionaire in the public. He says people, the general public, should not focus on active investing. They should focus on passive investing. Now, this is someone that is a billionaire. They are very wealthy off of active investing, and they are completely deterring people from uh, active investing because they understand that it requires a certain mentality, a certain stability that has to be had. I heard someone earlier today say, "Oh, you have to have a lot of emotional stability as an entrepreneur." No, there's not emotional stability that's required. It's called no emotion at all. It's called do business. And this is from even some of the, well, we wouldn't even call them nonchalant entrepreneurs. We're talking about active entrepreneurs. Active investors are saying there are no feelings inside of it. And so it's no need to have emotional stability when you know that there's no need to have emotions towards, transactions and things of this nature. So let's go back to where possibly feelings can be even put inside, which would be passive investing. Oh, the people are going back and forth looking at the investment every single day. They're in locked in long-term investments that they can't leave. We talked to an investor earlier. So oh, we don't like being in buy hold positions. They actually like being in buy hold positions. They don't like being in just buy sell positions. Buy sell is always in and out, and that's active. So when we even look at the passive investing thought process, that is, someone giving their money to someone else to make them money, a very passive approach. It makes you qualify yourself. What position are you in? Are you active or are you passive? Because if you're active, you're more into the diligence. You're more into the touch of where the capital is going, a particular risk that's involved. Whereas passive is abating risk and passively accepting risk, not actively mitigating risk, lowering risk. Now, passive is very subjective to the fact that there's minimal control, whereas active investing is complete control. When you're active, you're in control as whatever position you're in. And so the contrast of these two positions puts a someone in a position to say, hey, where do I go from here? Why am I being active or why am I being passive? That's the first thing is establishing. That comes from having a private education. The passive education is the free one. The active education is going to cost you money. Every time, all the time. It's a dime. You're always putting out. You're always going in. You're always having capital go towards the education of the business. Why do you think Amazon is buying back their stock? It's called R&D, research and development. Amazon is buying back, doing corporate buybacks in the form of R&Ds, which is a tax write-off. They're supposedly educating their employees, supposedly educating the CEOs, supposedly having balloon parachute payments come out and be prepared for them as well. This is how business is done in the 21st century. It's through active buybacks. This is across the board. All the FANG companies, FAANG, the FANG companies. So you all can look into that, but that's active investing. It's knowing the FANG companies. You know, We see the marketplace where people have handed over their investments to their employer. We saw a generation of that. And look where they are. Passive investing. Those those passive investments that were around for baby boomers, the 401ks, the pensions, these lifelong disability programs and all of these, corporate retirement programs as they used to call them, passive investing. Where are they for the millennials? Where are they for the next generation? We live in a society of part-time workers. Some people would say, well, I have a full-time job. Passive investing. Active investing is taking full responsibility and control. Passive investing is remaining in complete ownership, in complete liability. So, just really wanted to give a complete, thorough compare and contrast to the passive investing versus the active investing. Active investing is something that is very exciting. Some people might find passive investing exciting, but active brings the guts and the glory, and it requires diligence. It requires activity. Whereas passive investment is once again just giving capital away. And we see this time and time again where diligence is not completed because it's not an active approach towards it. Capital is lost a lot more in passive investments, but they try to mitigate it, calling them mutual funds. And then you got active investing, where some people get in investments that are infinite returns. Passive investing traditionally doesn't give that, but passive investing can give that. We're very familiar with that. Active investing is more of a action oriented approach, whereas a passive investing is passing off diligence to a third party, not looking over documents that may be signed, things of that nature. Just being very nitty gritty with the passive approach towards capital being grown without diligence inside of the investment itself, to its core. So, you know, wanted to definitely go over that style of information when it comes to active investing and passive investing. If there's any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. We know that this is a pop up, so the chat or everyone that's live always gets the privilege. But we always appreciate everybody that goes back and listens in the replay, because when we talk about the investment level that individuals are at, are you passive or are you active? And this challenges you to put yourself in a position of the driver and not be in a position of the passenger. And we see some of the most fiercest players right now are very active. And so when we heard the billionaire come on national television and say most people should just subject themselves to the passive approach, it's because he shares, hey, most people don't want to study like I have. That's fair. He's saying most people don't want to study like I have. Most people don't want to invest in their education. When you even think about it, these companies, Google and what is the other one? Amazon. These people are spending large amounts of money on education right now through their foundations. Oh, we have a good story for you all that are on this episode live. So we actually got a story that came through about Baron Hilton. Can we see this story? Uh oh. Baron Hilton. Uh oh. We gotta refresh this page. So we got this episode about Baron Hilton. We'll have to release this episode on the next episode. See, we're having a little issue with this right here. But there's some content that came out about him. He died at the age of 91. As a gentleman, the Hilton brand is huge in the world, and when you just see the transfer when you see the wealth transfer that just happened, you know, with the family, When even Warren Buffett himself says, "Hey, I'm going to give it away to charity," and everybody's saying they're giving it away to charity now because this is the whole. Everybody signed the letter of giving it away to charity. Well, you got to remember these guys are in control of capital. So since they're in control of capital, they're not looking to let it go through their clutches. It doesn't work that way. So they're in control. That's active. That's not passive. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill runs. The Zuckerberg Foundation, Mark runs with his wife. These are investment vehicles. And when we actually want to report what the Hilton Foundation was investing in, because when you see it, we sat around a banker recently that said, oh, yeah, we have large charities that can give money away. Well, it's like, well, of course, most of the money is sitting in charity for investment purposes. And it's like interesting to see that. But when you see it, you see that their charters are very specific. And it's interesting to see that if you can align properly with certain charters, there are benefits out here with these huge active investing situations. And it's just very interesting to be in those positions. So always an honor and a blessing to be able to talk about those things, passive investing versus active investing. We appreciate you for tuning live or listening to replay. Now, this once again was just really to talk about the mindset that you have towards even your current situation. So definitely appreciate you all, coming on live or listening to replay. Uh, and even from a trustee's position, you're acting from an active position, not from a passive position. A quality private trustee is always going to operate from an active position. You're very active as a senior in the management. Management is very, very critical when it comes to that. We were even talking to an investor earlier about risk management. But what's so interesting is the passive investor is trying to get money right now. The active investor, they're playing the long game. Everyone that wants to talk about Warren and they say, "Oh, Warren Buffett's playing a long game. He's invested in these companies long term." Okay, what skill are you invested in? What business are you invested in long term? Which one are you entrenched in? You're not coming out. And what's so interesting? Here we go. This is what they don't talk about in the public because they're not buying and selling corporations and because they're not actively investing. See, active investors, they're in and out of businesses. They're in and out of investments. Passive, they're in the same one for oh, well, we're sitting here for 3 months, just 6 months, a year, 5 years. We got a CD for 5 years. We got a money market for 10 years, getting 2%. So active investing, they have an exit strategy. They don't want to talk about this in the public because they're not doing it. The ones that are doing it, they're private. They're focused on being in and out of assets. They're either holding certain assets or they're holding assets for temporary periods of time. Active investing. You have to have an exit strategy. The exit strategy is called take profit. When you do corporate buybacks, it's called a take profit. When you can buy back your stock, you're buying it at a premium price. It's called a take back, but it's called a buyback. And they call it a buyback in the public. That's active investing. Their company is investing in the research and the development of their company. Tax deduction. Active investing. That's where the mindset is. It's getting up every single day. It's focused on gaining capital and appreciation for the vehicles. So many people come to the vault, they come to the trustee training and they say, how do I grow? Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the active investing environment now. It is every day you get up and metaphorically speaking, you kill what you eat. We're in that space for private trusteeship. It's to get up and pull up every single day. You're engaging with so many people. You're engaging with accountants. You're engaging with lawyers. You're engaging with financial advisors. As an active investor, you have financial advisors. Now I'm not going to say all of the greats have a slew of financial advisors around them, but they have at least one. They definitely might have two or three financial advisors. It's people that are licensed in certain environments or have had license in certain environments. Active investing is building a team, knowing that business is a team sport. Investing is a team sport. You have a team around you. This is where we get into what's considered the 1%. The 1% are the ones that want to get up and eat every day. Everyone else wants the meal to be handed to them. And then most people say it's the reverse. They want the meals handed to them. I mean, maybe they don't want to make the meal, but they're still going to go out and at least prepare to have the meal made. Active investing. Your hands are looking at the numbers. Passive investing. You hear the concept? Because most people are in a visual society, all they need to hear is glitz and glamour, overnight success. You made 1 million, you're rich, get rich quick, and now the game is passive. People have been sold lazy investments. What do they call them? They have things called underperforming. If it's underperforming, that means we need to get out. If you're underperforming, you got to get into something that is performing to get out of the hole that's underperforming. Active investing. We appreciate you all for tuning in live or listening to replay. Just wanted to come with something. Appreciate you all. Christian at Trust Christian for the trustees. Talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.